I'm Skinn and this is Give Me Some Skin Special Edition. Now, I feel like what we're about to talk about deserved an episode of its own, so here we are. It is the mega card in Saudi Arabia, headlined by Anthony Joshua. So the first fight that I'm going to talk about is Deontay against Ellis Zorro. I just love this card because you've got Deontay, who's promoted by Eddie Hearn, and Ellis Zorro, who's promoted by Frank Warren, and they've come together finally. It's what every boxing fan has wanted. We've got what we asked for, and it is going to be brilliant, the whole card from top to bottom. I'm obviously talking about Deontay v Zorro. I think Deontay is just a mega talent in the cruiserweight division. He could run through that cruiserweight division so easily, and I think he beats Zorro definitely inside the distance. I don't think it goes anywhere near points. I think Zorro's a good cruiserweight, but I just don't think he's on that world level yet. Deontay is just too good for Zorro. Then we have Dimitri Bivol against Lyndon Arthur. Now, Dimitri Bivol could headline a show on his own, but because of how stacked the card is, he's down for fifth fight. But Dimitri Bivol is a top talent. But Lyndon Arthur, I mean, IBO world champion, it's a chance for Lyndon Arthur to showcase what he can do on a huge stage. Now, again, I'm gonna predict Dimitri Bivol, another matchroom fighter, to get the win, just because I believe, again, it's that level. There's levels to this game, and he is world level. I think Bivol is, just better. Then on to the next one, which, bit of a controversial one. You've got Dubois Miller. Now, we all know Miller's past. I'm not going to get too much into that. But I hope that Dubois gets the job done. I really do, because we don't want people like Miller in this sport. Obviously, we've seen him at the press conference. He has that loud mouth, which is probably why he's been given the opportunity he has. But for me, I'm gonna say Dubois is gonna get the win, and I want him to get the win. I'm rooting for the Brit, so that's that one. Unfortunately for some fans, AJ and Wilder are not fighting each other, but I think as long as they both get past these two fights, they're going to be fighting each other. That will happen, I imagine, in Saudi at a later date. So we'll start off with Deontay Wilder, and he's against Joseph Parker. Now, the only way I can sort of see Parker winning this is due to his experience recently, his form. He's had, I think, like 4 fights or something this year, and Wilder has had 1 fight in the past 2 years against Robert Helenius, and that lasted 1 round. So recent form leans to Joseph Parker, and obviously we know that Wilder doesn't have the best boxing ability, but obviously what Wilder does have is that knockout power. And it's the simple statement of Wilder has to be perfect for 1 second, whereas Parker has to be perfect for 12 rounds. Wilder has that knockout power. He has the ability to knock you out in 1 round. That is what he can do. And if Parker can get past that, I'm not sure. I think at some point within the fight, Deontay Wilder is going to land that right hand, and that will be it. So I'm predicting Deontay Wilder to get the win by knockout over Joseph Parker. It's the main event. It's the big one. It's the man that really this whole card is based around. It's Anthony Joshua. We saw what he did to Robert Helenius. Not as emphatic as a victory as Deontay Wilder, but he's coming up against a tough opponent, Southpaw in Otto Wallin. Now, we know the history with Anthony Joshua and Southpaws, with obviously Alexander Usyk. That didn't turn out great for him. However, I am predicting Anthony Joshua to get the win. Could see a stoppage. Wallin is quite a drawable fighter. He lasted against Fury. So whether AJ can get the knockout, I'm not too sure, but I am going to lean For AJ, well, I'm not leaning for AJ to get the win, leaning for him to get the win by stoppage, but overall I think it's going to be an Anthony Joshua win. Whether on stoppage or points, I'm not too sure, but AJ for the win. Now that is my review of the Saudi Arabia card.